The next
was
one
good.
we have is Joe Rainey, Behzigo.
Mm-hmm. Off the album is that Ninetta?
Ninetta, two eyes.
Ninetta.
What kind of music you think Joe Rainey makes? I'm not familiar with him myself.
I'm just gonna say rainy, sad music.
Okay.
That rain pounding against your window and you're just looking out music.
Acoustic? Like
Nah,
no
that's
guitar.
no. Let's say he still uses electronic instruments
Okay,
for the
okay.
music, but very melancholic.
Do you think, this is actually a good question, do you think that the word behzigo is said somewhere on the song?
I think he says it so much that it becomes annoying.
Okay. So I actually have some interesting information on Joe Rainey, and it's going to make a lot more sense. I just kind of seen a small little article. Joe Rainey is one of the first, I don't want to call this mainstream quite yet, but this is the biggest it's ever gotten. He's a powwow singer.
Oh, okay.
Like Native American
Right.
powwow singing, right? And his vision was he wanted to make like, because a lot of times Native culture, music even, is something that's more like a historical fact rather than something that's like widely enjoyed, right?
Sure, right.
Something that you'd see recreated at like a museum or like, video or something like that. He wanted to make something that kind of was something you could listen to, like something you can just kind of casually enjoy. There's not a lot of Native representation really in any kind of media, that we can think of. At least that isn't like, oh, like I'm Native, but actually kind of representing the culture, really well. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Right. It's funny because you know how we joke about pitchfork writers going into the most obscure places to create these lists, and whoever the fuck put this or found this one and added it to the list, like decided to just take a trip to a territory that's not even under U.S. governance and
Right,
probably
a
has a
sovereign area.
casino. Yeah, a sovereign nation that has a casino built to it, and just decided to find the most, tribal thing he could out there. It's interesting, but I don't know, like, I don't think it's something that belongs on a list like this, especially seeing like the tracks that it's sandwiched between,
Right.
like if it's to be taken serious, in my opinion, the next track is going to be Diet Coke by Pusha T. And then prior to that, what do we have? It was
Two Shell.
Two Shell, right, which was dope.
Right.
Is this to be said like, and again, like, of course, just like anything else in life, no reader or anybody should take anything literal when a review is made of a product or a list is given. Just be your own judge. But nonetheless, if you're to be a credible source, like, how the fuck does it make sense that this goes between something as dope as Two Shell and Diet Coke?
Right.
And like, of course, you could always argue that it's subjectivity to somebody in the world. There is,
Right.
but there's a level of that as well.
So you think this is the first time we've seen on the Pitchfork list a Pitchfork choice, where it was kind of like, of course you found a way to put this in, but stacked on the, spread out on the table, you wouldn't necessarily say that the 12 songs we've listened to before were better than that.
Like, it's almost like saying, that song is dope, but what's slightly better? Pusha T's Diet Coke, like, what the
Right,
fuck? Or,
right,
what
right.
was
Because you're like
slightly
splitting
not
hairs
as
at
good as that.
point. Right. I thought it was interesting. I think that it's something that I'm curious to see grow. Like, I'm curious, like, if we're doing this, like, truly indigenous electronic, type music, I wonder where the next steps are of this. It's intriguing. I like different sounds. I like cultural sound, but I like when they're able to, I don't want to say like make it palatable per se, but kind of like, I just want to like, because to me that sounds like something that could be sampled in really interesting ways. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like what would a DJ like Troy Boy or even like Diplo, like if they worked together, like what kind of sounds would kind of come from that, you know? So I think that's where it's interesting, but I get what you're saying though.